Well, hello and welcome to our Global Focus quiz. The messages on the chat board with spelling mistakes will be mine.
So, I'm going to put Mairi on mine, so you know.
You in your name. You're going to need some pen and paper, so hopefully you have that handy. And the other thing is hands up. I didn't come up with the questions. Oh, wait a second. I need to mute myself. There you go. Mairi and Kaz have done all the hard work of coming up with the questions here. So, so have pen and paper handy. There's going to be 5 rounds, each worth 20 points. The answers that we give are final, no debates. So don't kind of like be looking for half points. That's what I normally do when I'm participating. So it's going to be out of 100. Mairi, what kind of rounds have we got coming up?
So because it's a global focus and we're thinking globally and internationally, we're using that as a bit of a theme for our quiz this time round. So our 5 subjects are going to be flags, language, international sport, geography, and then we've got a bit of a mixed bag round, bit of general knowledge and stuff in there as well. Can I just give my apologies in advance for the pronunciation when it comes to the language round? I will do my very best, but I'm not guaranteeing anything, so forgive me. We'll let you know when we get
Mairi very graciously is taking that round on.
we will give her the answers at the end of each section. Okay, so and you can use the YouTube chat to let us know how you're getting on as we go through. We like a bit of a running total. It's good to know how people are getting on. So I think we should give people a couple of minutes, Brodie, before we kick off. There's still a few people joining, so there's a few people watching the rugby, I think. They're gonna have half a year on that.
To see that. Yep. Yes, I think in my living room there are computers and TVs on all at the one time, multitasking. So there we go. I think that the Ireland game's just about finished.
Yeah, there seems to be a bit of celebrating from some of the Irish contingent in the chat. So good to see a few people. Welcome, Linda. Welcome, Hazel. Hi to the Hastings. Hi, Angel. Good to see you guys as well. And of course, we know there's a few people watching who are not can't do 2 things at once. So if all you can do is do the quiz and do the answers and you can't do the chat, then that's absolutely fine as well.
And it's really good that Patience and friends have been able to join us from the Y1 base in Switzerland. So the wonders of modern technology.
Yep.
We'll give it another couple of minutes just to see who else joins and people to find paper and pen.
Yeah. Yeah, the numbers are going up slowly but surely. We've got a few people joining, which is good.
Oh, the Tates are here.
Oh.
At least Katrina's here, so we know that the chat's going to be more sensible because presumably it's Katrina that has control of that and not Pete.
Pete. I know there's a few people who've done our previous quizzes and who all get quite high scores that are here tonight, so I think we've got a bit of a battle on our hands, Brodie.
Good.
So what do you think? Will we make a start?
Catherine Turner is here. So there we go. We are getting really international. Welcome to the Turners. Those who thought they could have a night off and relax, now you can't. The Turners are here, and we all know how good the Turners are at a quiz. Welcome to Alex as well.
Yeah.
So, guys, so it's great to chat on the chat, and that's good. Keep that going throughout it. But let's not get too distracted from the questions.
Yeah. It's about to get serious.
Will we make a start, Mairi?
Yeah. So let me share my screen and we'll make a start, and Brodie's going to take us through the first round, which, as I said, is flags. Just a minute. Right, are we good to go?
We are good to go. So nice simple round to get you all warmed up. There's going to be some flags come up on the screen, and just simply name the country. So here comes the first one. Which country is this? Okay, the second one. Here comes the next one. And the fourth one. Now that is not, I can tell you what that is not. That is not Nando's, okay? If we can vaguely remember what shops like that look like. I'll give you a moment just to look at those, write down your answers before we go on to the next slide.
Remember, guys, don't put it in the chat. Answers on your own pen and paper, not in the chat.
Okay, so next bunch of flags.
Right, let me just. Sorry, I'm just.
That's okay.
There we are.
Okay, should be one that's familiar to a number of people. Number 6. A bit closer to home. Number 7. Number 8, I'll be really disappointed if one of the teams don't get the answer to this one. Again, we'll give you a moment just to kind of like write down your answers.
Right.
Yep, ready to go to the next lot. Number 9. And then the last one just now, number 10. So this section's worth 10 points. So each of those are worth 1 point. Again, I'll give you just a moment to write those down. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. So what you need to do here is put the flags in order of the number of stars, starting with the number 1 should be the flag with the most stars, down to the flag with the least stars. That's worth 1 point. And then there's another point for naming the for naming how many stars are on each flag. No points for naming the countries, seen as they're there. So put them down in order and how many stars are on the flags. This requires a bit of thinking, so we'll give you a bit of time for this one. And again, this bit's out of 10, so there's 2 points on offer for each of the flags, as it were. Okay.
Right.
I think that should be us.
That should be us. You can always quickly jot down the names of the country and work on that as we go through the rest of the rounds if you haven't had a chance to put it down. So we're going to move on to the language round. And again, oh no, sorry, we're going to do the answers first.
Yep.
So we can't
Mairi,
do that. We can't do that bit. We will give them another minute. I forgot about that.
Just shoot, so you know, I'm not really able to look at what's happening in the chat because when I do that, my screen's going crazy. But
okay, I'll keep an eye in the chat then.
Are you able to go to the answers?
Yes,
Great. Okay, so first one, of course, is Canada. Second one, a bit trickier, less familiar, Nigeria. Number 3, Portugal. Number 4 is, of course, Uganda. Number 5, India. Number 6, Germany. Number 7 is where a number of you may have been, Romania. Number 8, where we have a team playing from tonight, is Switzerland.
Sorry, I'm just going to break off and get my cup of tea. Thank you.
Good, good. Number 9 is the beautiful country of Lebanon. And number 10, West Africa, Ghana. So mark yourself out of 10 for that, and then we'll go on to the how many stars and the order that they should be placed in. I think this is a tricky one.
Yeah.
I was surprised with this one. So if we go to that.
Okay.
So
are you ready for the answers?
Go. There we go. So United States with 50. Venezuela. This was the one that surprised me. I didn't realize that they had so many stars in their flag. 8 stars. Australia has 6. New Zealand has 4. And Cuba has 1. So you get a point for each answer that you got in the right position. So if you had United States number 1, then you get a point for that. You get another point if you guessed the right number of stars. So hopefully that is fairly clear. That'll take a minute for you to kind of like work that out. And again, the score here is out of 10, giving us a total of a score out of 20 for the flag round. So don't know if people want to kind of like admit to the scores in the chat, but it's always fun to see how people are doing.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're brave enough to put your scores in, please do that.
Not seeing any yet. I don't know whether my chat's frozen.
No, I'm not seeing any yet either. So.
Everybody's obviously very shy tonight or being coy with their answers. Oh, and Julian's here. So Julian, hopefully you managed to catch most of that round.
Yeah.
Oh,
I noticed from the chat that it's Patience's birthday today as well. So
there we go. We've got some
happy birthday,
scores.
Patience.
18 out of 20, I think, is a top just now. Yep, Venezuela caught some people out. People don't know their stars and their flags. That's the challenge, isn't it? That would have caught me out as well. So I have every sympathy with you. A couple of 16s, I think.
Yeah.
Great. Susan, Aileen, and Alan, 14. Good score.
Yeah. Oh,
Julian was late joining. You can catch up. Are we good to move on?
We are indeed. So we're going to move on, as I said earlier, when I was mistaken, to the language round. And I'm going to take us through that one. And as I said already, apologies right now for any mispronunciation. So when we are visiting another culture, it is good manners to learn a few words. So I've got the words or phrases for please and thank you in 10 different languages. And all you need to do is tell me which language it is. Okay, so our first one. So varog, which is please, and mulțumesc, which is thank you. Okay, so it'll be please and then thank you. So language number one, varog or mulțumesc. What language is that? Number two, s'il vous plaît, merci. S'il vous plaît, merci. Which language is that, please and thank you? Here's where I get into difficulty. So, kripya and dhanyavad. Kripya and dhanyavad. What language is that? And obviously, some of these languages are not necessarily in the alphabet that we're used to, so some of these are anglified a bit. Number four, lutfan. I can't do this one. Teşekkür ederim.
You're doing so much better than I would, Mairi.
Lutfan and teşekkür ederim. What language is that, please and thank you, in? And then this is another one. Proze dekuye chi. Proze dekuye chi. What language is that, please and thank you, in? Just think of all the places you'll be able to travel and say please and thank yous after lockdown's lifted. So we'll move on. Our next language, number 6, alstublieft, dank je. Alstublieft, dank je. Language 7, bitte, danke. Bitte, danke. Number 8, per favore and grazie. What is that, please and thank you? Per favore and grazie. Number 9, onegaishimasu. Onegaishimasu. Domo arigato. What language is that? Onegaishimasu. Domo arigato. And the last one for this section, por favor, gracias. Por favor, gracias. So what are those please and thank yous in which languages? And for our next section, I've just got some general language style, general knowledge questions, okay? So you get a point for each of these. This is out of 10. And then Switzerland has 4 national languages. Name them, and you get 1 point for each. So this question is worth 4 points. Switzerland has 4 national languages. Name them, 1 point for each. And again, I didn't realise we were having a team joining, so they might have a slight advantage. Number 12, what artificial language did L.L. Zamenhof create in the late 1800s? So what was the name of the artificial language that L.L. Zamenhof created in the late 1800s? Question 13. Welsh is spoken in Wales and in Patagonia, an area of which South American country? So Welsh is spoken in Wales and in Patagonia, an area of which South American country? So we're looking for the name of the country there. Question 14, which 1990s film was released in Germany under the title Kevin Allein zu Hause? Okay, which 1990s film was released in Germany under the title Kevin Allein zu Hause? And then the final question in this round. Which 3 languages have the most native speakers? And that's 1 point for each. And it's important, it's native speakers, it's not the most spoken languages, okay, which are slightly different. So which 3 languages have the most native speakers? And again, that's worth 3 points, 1 point for each.
Good questions, Mairi. Though, while we may have a team from Switzerland, there is somebody playing who lived in Switzerland for a while.
Oh.
And I spelt their name wrong earlier on.
Oh, right. Well, dear, so there's quite a few people that might have a bit of advantage with that one. Okay, we are ready. Are we ready for some answers? Let's go. Okay, so our please and thank yous. Varog and mulțumesc is Romanian. S'il vous plaît, merci is French, and I would hope a few people would remember that from their school days, if nothing else. Kripa and Dhanjavad is Hindi. Lutfin and Tesekkur, and Julian will need to correct my pronunciation on this one. Tesekkur Ederim is Turkish. Proze and DQAG is Polish. Number 6, Alstublieft and Danke is Dutch. Bitte and Danke are German. Per favore and grazie is Italian. Onegai masu and domo arigato are Japanese. And por favor and gracias, or gracias, if you're in Spain itself, is Spanish. Okay, Switzerland has 4 national languages. They are German, French, Italian, and Romansh. That's the 4 languages. You get 1 point for each. So if you've only remembered 2 or 3, then you still get some points. Esperanto is the artificial language created by L.L. Zamenhof. Patagonia is in Argentina. So there's a little section of Argentina that speak Welsh. Kevin Aligns the House is Home Alone. And if you know the film at all, you should have got that from Kevin. And then the most native speakers are in order Mandarin Chinese, then Spanish, and then English. Okay, not that you need to worry about the order, but you get a point for each of those if you've got them right.
So we'll give you a moment to tot your score up. Again, it's out of 20. And if you want to put your scores up in the chat, then probably a score for the round rather than a cumulative score. We'll keep the cumulative scores as a surprise. We'll do those, later on. So scores out of 20 for the language round. And see if this was better or worse than the flags, eh? Oh, that's good, Hazel. 16 out of 20. Good. Oh, another one. Porters, well done. Ooh. 18 from Susan Pillion team. There's a few 16s, 15s, 19s. Well done. Good job, Sam, on the Esperanto. 19 out of 20 from the Turners, spot the linguistic people. Yeah. I'm disappointed, Brodie. I thought it'd be 20. A few 15s in there. Yeah. 17. Hazel's confessing that Graham's helping her. No shame in that. That's good.
Good job, Patience, 17. Will we move on?
Let's move on. So from languages to sports, of course, sport is international. So here are some international sporting questions for you. So the first question, and these are worth 1 point each. What is the national sport of India? So the national sport of India. The second question, Sonny Bill Williams, who played for the All Blacks in New Zealand, has retired from both rugby union and rugby league to resurrect a career in what other sport? So what other sport does Sonny Bill Williams play and has won at? Okay, question 3. Uganda. So there's a few folk on the call have been to Uganda on a mission trip. The national sport of Uganda is football. But how many times have the Ugandan national football team qualified for the FIFA World Cup finals? How many times have Uganda qualified for the World Cup finals at football? Question 4. Mo Farah, the British long-distance runner, was born in which African country? So those of you know Mo Farah, he has a fabulous backstory. So where was he born? What country did he live in as a young child? Question 5 is about a good walk spoiled. The Ryder Cup is a golf competition played between teams from Europe and which other country? So Europe versus who would you find in the Ryder Cup golf competition? Question 6, and it's my turn to apologise for pronunciations. The national sport of Romania is oina, I think, and it closely resembles another sport which is popular in Cuba and Japan. But what sport does oina resemble? So what sport is this that it's played in Cuba and Japan and Romania? Question 7. In basketball, how many players in total are on the basketball court at any one time during the game? So on the court, so we're not counting the subs, we're counting players active on the, it's not the field of play, the court of play in basketball. Question 8. A dolly is a term used in cricket to mean what? So if you were playing cricket and somebody said, that's a dolly, what are they referring to? Question 9. 2014 seems a very, very long time ago. But what was the name of the official mascot of the 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow? So what was the name of the mascot? The 2014 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Question 10. Which city will host the Summer Olympic Games in 2024? So the 2024 Summer Olympic Games will be held in which city? Then question 11. So there are 10 points on offer for this question. So 1 point for each correct answer. The last Winter Olympics took place in Pyeongchang in 2018. Name the countries which finished in the top 10 on the medals table. So you don't need to get the order right. You just need to name the top 10 countries, and it's a point for each country that you get correct. So we'll give you a bit of time for that. No doubt those of you who are playing in teams, there'll be some vociferous discussion around what teams are in and what teams are out on the top 10 of the medal table. Oh, Mum Doc is completely clueless on sport.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you will be able to give some good guesses.
Yeah. I confess this question would be a lot of guessing for me.
Well, it's a bit like we sometimes watch Pointless, and it's a bit kind of like hard to guess of, you know, more than one answer, but it's guessing which one's right. And in something like this, it's like, wouldn't they be in the top 10?
Yeah.
Some countries that you obviously can fairly well guess are not going to be in the top 10, but
yeah.
it's a tricky one.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, full disclosure, if they're tricky, Kaz wrote them.
Well, Hazel thinks questions are great, so we will pass that message on to Kaz.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's a decent amount of thinking time and writing time. So why don't we go to the answers for this round? So first question was the national sport of India, and it is not cricket, it is field hockey. We will accept the answer hockey. So if you put hockey down, that's fine. If you put field hockey, that's still fine. You just get 1 point. Question 2. Sonny Bill Williams has retired from playing all forms of rugby to take up boxing again. Question 3. Uganda plays football, but they have not made it to the World Cup finals yet. So we can kind of like, I'm sure us Scots can sympathise with that situation. Though we have been there, but just not for a long time. Question 4. Mo Farah was born in Somalia. Question 5. The Ryder Cup is played between Europe and the United States of America, so USA. Question 6. The sport that is played in Romania that I am unsure how you pronounce resembles baseball. So it's like baseball. Question 7. Basketball, you would have 10 players on the court, 5 in each team. Question 8. I'd never heard of this before, so I would not have got this question right. A dolly is an easy catch. Question 9. I think I would have struggled on this one as well. I loved 2014. It was fantastic. We had such great weather and things like that. And the name of the mascot was Clyde. Question 10. Which city will host the Summer Olympic Games in 2024? And that will be Paris in France. And then question 11. Name the countries which finished in the top 10 on the medals table. So here comes the countries, and they don't need to be in the correct order. But Norway, Germany, Canada, the United States, Netherlands, who are good at skating and things like that, and that's why they're probably there. South Korea, Olympic athletes from Russia. So we will accept Russia. If you just put Russia, you don't need to have got the Olympic athletes. Switzerland, France, and Sweden. So Norway, Germany, Canada, USA, Netherlands, South Korea, Russia, Switzerland, France, Sweden. And that should give you a total out of 20. So we'll give you a moment to tally your score up. And then if you want to start to put your scores in the chat, we can see how everybody's doing. I think the chat normally comes through to you faster than it does to me, Mairi.
Oh, right.
Connection.
I haven't got anything yet. Just Hazel grateful that Graham was there. Yeah. 12 for Angel and the Crothers. 13, 9. 13, yeah, trickier around this one, I think.
13 from the Tates, 13 from Susan, 14 from the Turners, Callum and Co 15, the Porters 9, Hazel 10. Yep, lower scoring round that. I think the Winter Olympics one was tricky,
yeah,
wasn't it? And things like I would have thought cricket for India, not hockey, though. Yeah, so that was a tricky CAS round.
Yeah, but even 9s and 10s, I mean, I'd be in that round, I'd be happy with that.
Great.
Okay, so round number 4 is geography, and I'm going to take you through this one. So we've got some just general geography questions. So in which country was the first Legoland park opened in June 1968? So if you've had your kids at Legoland, where was the first one of those opened in June 1968? Question 2, which UK city is built on an extinct volcano? Okay, so we're looking for the UK city built on an extinct volcano. Question number 3, what name links an Italian river and a Teletubby? Okay, so we're looking for the name shared by an Italian river and a Teletubby. Question number 4. Standing over 4,800 meters tall, what is the name of the highest peak in the Alps? Okay, so we're looking for the highest peak in the Alps at over 4,800 meters. Question number 5. Namib, Chihuahuan and Gobi are all what? Namib, Chihuahuan and Gobi are all what? Question number 6. Which US state comes first alphabetically? Okay, so I'm testing your knowledge of your states and your alphabet. Which US state comes first alphabetically? Question number 7. One of Scotland's 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which group of remote islands sits 100 miles off the west coast and is home to the largest seabird colony in Europe? Okay, so we're looking for the name of one of Scotland's 6 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, a group of remote islands off the west coast and home to the largest seabird colony in Europe. Question number 8. Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca and Formentera are the 4 main islands in which island group? Okay, so what island group contains Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca and Formentera? Question number 9. In 2011, which country voted to become an independent nation, making it the newest country in the world to date? In 2011, which country voted to become an independent nation, making it the newest country in the world to date? And again, apologies for pronunciation for the next question. Kaitoke Regional Park, which served as a location for Rivendell in The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings film trilogies, is in which country? Kaitoke Regional Park, which served as the location for Rivendell in The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings film trilogies, is in which country?
I'm going to guess, Mairi, from that last question that you wrote these questions and not Kaz.
What gave it away?
I've got no idea. It's just a hunch that I have.
Got to be one for the geeks. Okay, so we have now got some capital cities for you. We've got 10 capital cities in all, and all we're looking for is the 10 countries that these are the capital cities of. That's all we're looking for. So, capital cities. Abuja, number 1, what is that the capital city of? Number 2, where is Ottawa the capital city of? Which country has Lisbon as its capital city? What about Helsinki? Where is it the capital of? And the final one on this page, Bogota, where is it the capital? So we're looking for the countries that have Abuja, Ottawa, Lisbon, Helsinki, and Bogota as their capitals. So again, this round is out of 10. For this half of the round is out of 10. So you're looking for 1 point per answer. Okay, and we've got another 5 on the next page. Okay, so where is Valletta the capital city of? Number 7, where is Bern the capital city of? Number 8, which country has Canberra as its capital? Number 9, which country has Athens as its capital? And finally, Kiev is the capital of which country? Okay, again, so 1 point per country. So we're looking for the countries that have Valletta as the capital, Bern, Canberra, Athens, and Kiev. Okay, I'll give you a minute to think about that, and then we'll move on to some answers.
So again, once you've tallied your answers for this round up, they should be out of 20. And if you want to put them up in the chat, then everybody will be able to cheer you on in how well you're doing.
Yeah, but first we'll need to give them.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's do that. We'll give you the answers now. Okay, so the first Legoland park opened in Denmark in June 1968. That is the original Legoland. Edinburgh is the UK city built on an extinct volcano. Po is an Italian river and a Teletubby. The answer to 4 is Mont Blanc in the Alps is the tallest peak, the highest peak. Namib, Chihuahuan, and Gobi are all deserts. And Alabama is the US state that comes first alphabetically. Okay, so Mont Blanc, deserts, and Alabama. St Kilda is the remote group of islands. That's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Balearics are Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, and Formentera. And then the last two in this round, in this half of the round, sorry. South Sudan is the newest country in the world to date. And New Zealand, of course, where much of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings was filmed.
And I take it, Mairi, for number 9, it needs to be South Sudan.
It needs to be South Sudan, not Sudan. Yeah. Yeah, that's one we're not going to be lenient on. Different country. Right, let me move on to our capitals. Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. Ottawa is the capital of Canada. Portugal has Lisbon as its capital. Helsinki is Finland. And Bogota is Colombia. And that's a nice picture of Helsinki I've got for you to admire. Okay, so Nigeria, Canada, Portugal, Finland, and Colombia are the 5 answers there. Our next 5, Valletta is Malta. Bern is in Switzerland. Australia's capital is Canberra. Athens is the capital of Greece. And Kiev is the capital of Ukraine. So the answers we're looking for there are Malta, Switzerland, Australia, Greece, and Ukraine. And again, that's a nice picture of Valletta for you. So total round is out of 20, 10 points for the first half, 10 points for the capital cities. Tot up your scores and let us know how you got on in the chat.
I think there'll be some good scores here, Mairi.
Yeah. Oh,
there we go. 20 out of 20 from the turners.
Yeah.
19 out of 20, 18 out of 20, 18 out of 20. Yeah, good scores.
Yeah. Oh,
18,
few 20s.
20.
Oh, Brodie, I made it too easy.
I'm going to guess that the McGregors got number 6 in the capital cities wrong.
Think so. Valletta.
There's a 19 and a 17 and another 19. Yeah, great. Great scores, everyone.
Yeah. Everyone feeling a bit happier now after the sports round, I think. Cheered a few folk up.
So from geography, we're going into a round which is split into several parts. So what we'll do is we will, are there 4 parts to this, Mairi?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after the first 2 parts, we'll pause and take the scores, and then we'll do the second 2 parts. But it's the same as we've been going along, a point for each question. So question number 1 is on kids' movies. Quick, grab a kid so you can get the answers. Number 1. In which movie does a father search for 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, in the hope of discovering where his son went? So, in which movie does a father search for 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, in the hope of discovering where his son went? Number 2. Which movie tells the story of a bear from Peru? So which movie tells the story of a bear from Peru? Question number 3. Which 2005 movie tells the story of a boy from a poor family, a boy from Germany who almost drowns, an American boy obsessed with television, and 2 girls from opposite sides of the Atlantic whose greed lands them both in dangerous, albeit different situations? long question. Okay, what is the movie? So 2005. The movie tells the story of a boy from a poor family, a boy from Germany who almost drowns, an American boy obsessed with television, two girls from opposite sides of the Atlantic whose greed lands them both in dangerous, albeit different situations. What is that film? Question 4. In which movie set in China does a young girl question traditional gender roles? So a movie set in China with a young girl as the main character who questions traditional gender roles. What is that movie? Question number 5. Which animated movie tells the tale of an 18-year-old orphan from Russia called Anya? So which animated movie tells the tale of an 18-year-old orphan from Russia called Anya? I think I've seen all the other films apart from this one. Mairi, I've not seen this one. Okay, so you should have a score out of 5 for name the movies. And we're good to move on to part 2. So international history. So question 6. What is the name of the stone when discovered in 1799 helped with the understanding and translation of Egyptian hieroglyphs? So what's the name of this stone? It was discovered in 1799 and it helped with the understanding and translation of Egyptian hieroglyphs. Question number 7. 3 countries have succeeded in soft landing a spacecraft on the moon. Name 2 of the 3. And you need both of these countries to get the point. So there's only 1 point in offer here, not 2. There's no half points. It's all or nothing. Okay, so 3 countries landed on the moon, soft landing. Name 2 of the 3. Question 8. In what year did the demolition of the Berlin Wall begin? Some of us are old enough to remember it, but what year was it? In what year did the demolition of the Berlin Wall begin? Question 9. Mohandas, hard to pronounce middle name Gandhi, was born in India and studied law in London, but spent 21 years of his life in another country before returning to India. In which country did he spend 21 years? So Gandhi, born in India, studied in London, but lived somewhere else for 21 years. Where did he live? And then the last question in this section, from which European country did the United States of America make a purchase of land in 1803, aka the Louisiana Purchase? So who did America buy some land from in 1803, and it's a European country? I'll give you a moment to think about that. Will we do the answers, Mairi?
Yeah, I've got them here.
Great. So the answers for the films. The first one is, of course, the wonderful Finding Nemo. The second one, Paddington. Question number 3 is, if you like chocolate, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And it has to be Charlie, not Willy Wonka. That's a different film.
Yeah, that's an older film. That's why the date in this question is all important.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not the Gene Wilder one. This is the, can't remember the other guy's
Johnny
name.
Depp.
There we go. Question number 4. Movie set in China. It's Mulan, which the animated one is the better version, apparently.
Yes.
Question number 5, Anastasia. Question number 6. Oh, yep. Round 2, round 5, part 2. So question 6 is the Rosetta Stone, which you can see in the British Museum in London once you're allowed to travel. Don't go just now. 3 countries which have successfully landed on the moon. Name 2 of 3. So the USA, either the Soviet Union, or we will accept Russia, and China. So you need 2 of these 3 countries. In what year did the demolition of the Berlin Wall begin? It began in 1989. Can you remember 1989, Mairi?
I remember this vividly because I was studying German at university, and the lecturer I had the next day, his flat had been cut off because of the wall, and he was very excited that the wall was coming down.
Yeah, I remember it vaguely. I'm not great with what happened when. Question number 9. Gandhi, born in India, studied in London, but lived for 21 years in South Africa. And question number 10 is, of course, France. They bought Alaska off of the Russians and bought Louisiana off of the French. So, tot your answers up. How many is this one out of, Mairi?
This is out of 10. So if you want, you can hold on to your scores and we'll do the next 10. Or whatever you think, Brodie.
Let's keep it going out of 20. So
yeah. So hold on to.
Write what you got, 10 out of 10, and then you can add it to the next lot of slides.
Okay, so our next couple of little mixed bag sections, we are going to do sweet treats. So I hope you've all had your dinner and you're not too hungry, because this might make you hungry. So I've got pictures of 5 sweet treats from around the world, and I've given you the initials as well. Popular, oh no, I haven't. I had planned to, I've changed my mind, so you're not getting them. Popular in Middle Eastern countries, name this layered pastry dessert filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with syrup or honey. So what is that sweet treat? Popular in Middle Eastern countries, a layered pastry dessert filled with chopped nuts and sweetened with syrup or honey. Oh, I did. Oh, look at that. I've given you the initials on this one, right? The first one I'll give you the initial is B. Okay, number 2, named after a US state. What is this dessert of ice cream and sponge topped with meringue called? Okay, named after a US state. What is this dessert of ice cream and sponge topped with meringue called? And that's BA.
I don't think I've ever had that dessert. Do you know that?
If you know, oh, it's very nice.
I don't think so.
It's very yummy. Number 3, popular in India, name this deep fried dessert made with milk powder and rose water. Popular in India, name this deep fried dessert made with milk powder and rose water. And it's G-Jai, are your initials there? Number 4, named after the hotel in which it was created in 1832. What is the name of this Austrian dessert? Named after the hotel in which it was created in 1832. What is the name of this Austrian dessert? And that's S that starts with. And then our final sweet treat. Can you name these deep fried dough sticks from Spain? And they begin with a C. Can you name these deep fried dough sticks from Spain?
This round makes me hungry, Mairi, but I think we've learned something about you from this round as well. And the last one, question 5. I can smell the Christmas market in St. Enoch Square.
Yeah, that's the best bit. It's all the nice food.
It is. It is.
I
indeed.
missed that. Right, shall we move on to our last little section? So this is a little general knowledge. The name's the same. Okay, so in each of these questions, we're looking for the same name that is shared by these, the same place name. What name links the birthplace of David Livingstone in South Lanarkshire and the second largest city in Malawi? So both these places have the same name. The birthplace of David Livingstone in South Lanarkshire and the second largest city in Malawi. Question number 7. What name links a hamlet in East Ayrshire and the city in Russia which houses the Kremlin? So again, both these places share the same name. What name links a hamlet in East Ayrshire and the city in Russia which houses the Kremlin? Question number 8. What name links a musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda and towns in Canada, Scotland, and Australia? Okay. What name links a musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda and towns in Canada, Scotland, and Australia? Number 9. What name links a state in Australia, a waterfall in Zambia, and a park in Glasgow? So these places all share the same name, a state in Australia, a waterfall in Zambia, and a park in Glasgow. And our final question of the evening. Question 10. What name links a harbour in Hong Kong, famous for its floating village and seafood restaurants, and a city in Scotland? So what name is shared by a harbour in Hong Kong, famous for its floating village and seafood restaurants, and a city in Scotland?
Good questions, Mairi. I can see that Mr. Osmond has given you some inspiration for that round.
Yeah, House of Games. If you haven't watched it yet, watch it. So we will give you some answers.
That would be good.
I'm going to make everyone hungry again. We're going to our desserts. So again, apologies for pronunciation. Baklava or baklava, however you want to say it, is our Middle Eastern phyllo pastry dessert. Baked Alaska is our ice cream with meringue. Gulab jamun are our deep fried milk powder and rose water treats from India, gulab jamun. Sachertorte is the Austrian dessert. It was in the Hotel Sacher that they first made this dessert. It's lovely, apricot jam and chocolate, really nice. And churros are our deep fried Spanish dough sticks, churros, particularly nice with a wee pot of Nutella or chocolate spread. The answers to the same name, the name's the same round. Blantyre is the name that links the birthplace of David Livingstone and the second largest city in Malawi. Moscow, there's a Moscow in East Ayrshire, and of course, Moscow that has the Kremlin in Russia. Hamilton is Lin-Manuel Miranda's musical and the towns in Canada, Scotland, and Australia. Victoria is the state in Australia, the waterfall in Zambia, and the park in Glasgow. And the final answer, Aberdeen is the harbour in Hong Kong and the city in Scotland that share the name. Aberdeen. So the answers there are Blantyre, Moscow, Hamilton, Victoria, and Aberdeen. So add your points up and then add them to the previous 2 little sections, and you should have a score out of 20 to put in the chat. There's a few people put their kind of half-time scores in there, so add them up and we'll get your full for that round, and then we can start hopefully seeing some totals, Brodie.
Yeah, my internet's playing up slightly, Mary, so hopefully we won't lose it before
we get some answers. Yeah. Okay, so we're getting the first of our scores through. So 17s, Porters and the Turners, 19s for the Hastings and Angel and the gang, McGregor's 18, 17, 16 for Patience, 17 for the Tates. Hazel's got 16 as well, and a couple of 18s from Susan Tully and the Galts. So good high scoring round there.
Good scores.
Yeah.
And now you can tot your scores up, and you should get a score out of 100.
100. I know.
So we'll give you time to take your slippers or shoes off so that you can use your toes to count. And how did people do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A real mixed bag, this one, hasn't it? Very interesting to see what the final scores come out
I think the sports round was the one that everybody found hard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, there we are. We've got the first 81 out of 100. Well done, Susan, Aileen and Alan.
Good score.
I know. 79. Angel and gang, good job. 77 for the Tates.
It's a good score.
Mm-hmm. All very healthy people. Oh, Callum and the gang have got 84. They're looking like the ones to beat at the moment. 72 and 70 for Hastings.
Just shows how little I bring to the team when I'm playing.
I was going to say, when you're not even needed, Brodie.
I know. I'll try not to take it personally.
Hastings, that's not a disappointing. So remember, 72 out of 100, that would get you an A. $74, Patience, good job.
I guess it is quite hard when you're an international team of, it's harder. The Commonwealth Games question, that would have been a toughie, and some other, but yeah.
75 for the Galts, good. 88 for the Turners. Oh,
score to beat, as always.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it might be the Turners again.
Yeah. Great. Well, while if you're still kind of like rejoicing or weeping over your scores, it's been great to have you involved in this. For those with ears to hear and eyes to see, you will have noted that we have mentioned countries or cities, etc., where we have relationships with, because we either have people serving in those countries or we are connected with some kind of mission project in that city or that country. You can find out more about that if you tune in to QP Live tomorrow morning. Remember, we start at 10:15, not 10:30, 10:15. Good news is it's not this weekend that the clocks move, so it's you still get all your sleep. And then really looking forward to in the evening, 6:30, on Zoom. We're going to gather together to pray, and there'll be a number of our mission partners join with us, and we'll go into breakout rooms. You'll get to hear from them as to what they're doing. we've got to be careful on forum like this of specifics that we give, because some situations can be quite sensitive, but we'll be able to give more information and people will be able to talk more freely on Zoom. So 6:30, remember to tune in to that. You should have the code if you get the MailChimp that comes out during the week. Have there been any more scores come in, Mairi?
Yeah, just a wee 70 from the Perts. So everyone very respectable.
Yeah. 70 and above are good scores.
Yeah.
Great. Well, hopefully you enjoyed that. Once again, big thanks to Mairi and Kaz for doing all the hard work of the questions and getting a good balance between things that everybody knows and things that kind of like we get to rack our brains on. So that was great. Good to see you all.
Yeah.
Well, can't see you, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go now, and as we say, there's other things to tune into over the weekend. But congratulations to the Turners. You didn't disappoint, winning again.
Yeah. Well done, everyone. It's been good.
Well done, everyone.